Hello, it's me again, wishing I'd put a little more thought into what I was going to talk about. So I've managed to make another video blog in a week. That's pretty crazy for me. That's not a, I don't have a great track record, but this is pretty good. Still kind of trying to figure out what I want to do next. Haven't taken any direct action towards anything in particular, but yeah, no, working it out. Meanwhile, I want to talk briefly, I guess, about being a jerk on the internet, which I do sometimes. I do it on forums, it comes up on Facebook. It's come up mostly because of the EU referendum that's coming up in the UK, which is going to be over soon, so it's hopefully that very, very boring subject can go away. It's incredibly important considering how boring it is. It's still, one of the most important things that's probably going to happen inside my lifetime. But it's just kind of dull and a massive pile of bullshit on every side of the argument, and just doesn't. It can feel like there's no good option, and people who think that there is a good option are stupid people who don't understand why whatever they're thinking is probably a bad idea. Doesn't matter which side of the argument you're on, whatever you're thinking is probably not as good as you think it is. You're just making a balanced decision. But anyway, I don't care enough to get into it here. I'm just giving you a little bit of context for what I'm about to talk about. So I can be kind of a jerk online, and I say this openly, and I know I'm being a jerk because I'm deliberately being a jerk. I'm rude and I'm unpleasant, and I just kind of get into fights with people rather than debates. They stem from debates more often than not, but I can't be bothered to sustain that, and I just will descend into being a jerk, but very deliberately being a jerk. Um, Very consciously and saying things that not necessarily I would want to say or would think or whatever, just in order to be a jerk and to attack the people who I find irritating or I find are being jerks to me without really meaning to. See, I always find that the people on the other side against me seem to don't not know that they're being jerks. I'm using jerks as a polite term. But yeah, they seem to be unaware of it, which I always think is worse. If you're being rude to somebody and you don't realize you're being rude to somebody, that just means that you're naturally a very rude person, and you're just an unpleasant human being at your very core. On the other hand, I am purposefully being a complete jerk. I'm purposefully attempting. If you've insulted by me, it's because I'm trying to insult you. I don't think I've ever accidentally insulted somebody. I've always meant it. Why do this? A number of reasons. Number one, I'm not that interested in changing people's minds. I'm not that knowledgeable on subjects. I know what I know, and I form opinions, and I want to explain that I formed opinions, and that your opinions are not automatically better than mine. Particularly on this, where the right wing leave crowd are very stupid people, and worryingly stupid because there are reasons to leave. There's good reasons to leave. There's a logical argument to be made there, but the people making it are all very stupid, and I find that really annoying because you can't have a proper debate because all they do is just say lies at you and nonsense and racism, and you're like, come on, just engage some brain cells. There must be some people with brain cells on your side. Not getting into the issue, not getting into the issue. No, 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 no. Don't want to talk about the issue. Fuck the issue. Yeah. Anyway, it's people being unintentionally unpleasant because they just are unpleasant. I know I'm being unpleasant. I want to be unpleasant. I'd be unpleasant. But I don't do it all the time. Mostly I just post jokey, stupid things. Sometimes jokes get taken out of context on Twitter and things, or people just don't understand or they're offended by a joke. That does happen, and that is annoying because you don't mean it that way. I don't always mean the things I say. I just think it's a funny way of word. I mean, there's obviously some truth behind every joke you make, but I always just kind of find a funny way of wording things or things that are funny to me and just say that. So yeah, I'm not the authority on anything, and I don't really have enormous amounts of knowledge, so I'm not that interested in changing people's minds and entering a complex debate. I'm not their therapist. I'm not here to sort out their stupid way their brain works. That doesn't interest me. I'm not here for that. I'm just here to call you stupid, and then I'm happy to move on. There are plenty of people making rational arguments out there, and there's no need for me to be doing it as well. Secondly, it is somewhat therapeutic to just be a jerk to people who you think deserve people to be jerks to them. Um, and I can't. I'm sure that there are rational people on my side of the argument who enjoy it a little bit to see just me being a jerk, so that they don't have to be, and that's happy. I don't mind that. That's fine. Importantly, though, I don't do it anonymously. I've been on forums and things, and I've got banned from a couple of forums, but I've never like hidden and quote unquote trolled people. I don't think being rude to people is trolling. I think trolling is purposefully taking an objectionable opinion and attacking someone for without any real conviction or merit to what you're saying. Trolling is just being deliberately objectionable, I think. I don't know, it's a funny one. It's a funny one, trolling. I could do a whole thing about bullying, and I will do at some point. But yeah, no, for now, I've never trolled people. I've just had objectionable opinions and not been afraid to say, I think your ideas are stupid. Because more often than not, they're saying that they think my ideas are stupid, just not in quite an aggressive way. It's very bizarre to see somebody who's capable of being both stupid and condescending at the same time. So they'll say something stupid to you in a very condescending way, and you're like, that's very difficult to process. You don't know how you're supposed to react to that. I think thirdly, I guess it's also an interesting experiment from my perspective. As a writer, I do people watch a bit, and I do pick on conversations and join things that I want to just observe the thought processes of people. And it's interesting to enter debate. So it's interesting to observe a level of hypocrisy that I like to think I'm not capable of. Yeah, and they always end up. It often descends into them accusing you of things that they're quite happy to do themselves. The EU debate is them saying, you get a lot of people shouting at you saying, well, you're just not prepared to listen to my opinion. And it's like, well, what? You're just telling me to shut up. You're obviously not prepared to listen to my opinion. It's the level of hypocrisy that's really irritating. So that's interesting to examine traits that you don't fully understand, and you need to see how that sort of mindset works. Making it sound much more fancy than it is. I just like dicking with people really, and sort of making notes on the reactions, which is a very, I guess it's somewhat unpleasant. It's like human experimentation. You can look at it that way if you like. It's also just nice to just call people on their assholery and their bullshit and just be like, shut the fuck up. I don't like to make a habit of it, and I do try and avoid it sometimes. But sometimes it's just you just can't see. People just can't see their own stupidity sometimes, and you need to. They just need a punch in the face, verbally, and not literally. Well, maybe literally. So yeah, that's a thing that happens when I'm on the internet sometimes. Mostly I just post jokey, silly things. They are sometimes topical, sometimes not. I don't, I don't plan it so much. It's just your thoughts pop into your head. You tend to be a little more. Remember, the EU referendum is a big thing, so you can't avoid it if you're going to be, on the internet in any larger capacity than the average person. So yeah, no, it's just a thing that's going to be a pain in the ass for a little bit now, for 2 more weeks. Yeah, 2 more weeks, and then it'll happen, and we'll be like, well, there we go, it happened. We can move on. We can now figure out how to deal with whatever the outcome of that is. It all feels a bit negative. I don't know if this is intended to be as negative. I'm just calling it as it is, because it's a thing that's come up a few times, as I say, in the last couple of weeks, and I just wanted to just say something about it. People who Facebook friends and stuff probably have seen a little bit of it, me just sort of dicking with people or whatever. But yeah, no, it's a thing that I occasionally do. I try not to do it, but sometimes I just want to. What else is happening? We're working on the designs for the board game. I've maybe put some pictures up here. Look, you can see them. It's very fancy, and eventually that will be a thing that we can have, a physical thing. The board game that me and my brother made. It will be amazing. But yeah, so that's still working on that. Still figuring out what I want to do web series wise. I still would like to reboot Eaten by the Wolves, but there's a little bit of me that wants to go towards the drama side. Doing a bit more writing now. Still haven't managed to get a role-playing game going, like a Dungeons and Dragons thing. I'd probably do, I think I mentioned before, I'd probably do Paranoia or Fate, which are 2 very different systems. But yeah, I still haven't managed to get one going, which is annoying, but yeah, people are busy and it's hard to get the same group of people who can meet on a semi-regular basis, and yeah, no, I just really want to do it. What the hell else? Oh, I did a introductory stand-up comedy class. Sort of. It wasn't really a class. It was just you meet up, and it's an introduction to a class. So you could do this intro session, then you could go on and do the class if you wanted to. Yeah, I already chickened out of doing the. Stop squeaking, stupid chair. I already chickened out of doing the second one, and I don't know if I go back. I just don't know. I wouldn't mind doing that, or maybe like an acting class or something, or some sort of like, not like a serious one, because they're all quite serious. Like talk about techniques and things. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just something sort of, simple an amateur acting, or amateur. I don't know what I'm talking about. Do these things even exist? But yeah, the stand-up thing I might go back to. I don't know. Just having spare money as well to do it. But it's probably fun. You have to kind of have that itch, some sort of performing itch to scratch, which this kind of helps, I guess. But yeah, there's something in there. Anyway, I've maintained my video blog for a week there. Look at that. So hopefully this will continue, and I will be doing more things and podcasty things. Ooh, that'd be exciting, wouldn't it? I don't know, would it? Something to do. I'm trying to figure out something to do with my time, really. Yes, no. Thank you for watching. Do find me on Facebook and Twitter and whatever the hell else. And check out my old videos if you're suddenly finding me randomly for the first time. I did a lot of videos ages ago. Not ages ago, like 6 months ago. And then stopped for a while. But yeah, no, do check everything out. And keep an eye out for more stuff, which I'm hopefully going to be recording some later today. But yeah, thanks for watching. The end.